Welcome. I really like your top. It's very spring
Do you? Well,
or
I'll tell you,
summerish rather.
it was one of those last minute, and
I
I
like that.
actually, yeah, a last minute one of those things, and it works. It works for today because it
Beautiful.
just works for today. So,
That's
how are
beautiful.
you, Revneet?
Good. Um yeah, I just really like seeing you. You know, you put in some effort and you look beautiful. Um I'm doing good. I just woke up, I mean, from my evening nap
Yes, yes.
and I feel rejuvenated. So yes, let's go over today's conversation.
Oh, listen, talk about naps. I laid down for a nap last night. I know I laid down around 4:30. I did not wake up until 8 o'clock. So now, I
Uh,
mean, some might not call that a nap, but it was a really good nap. So naps are important.
it is. I think it has become a part of my routine, and I really encourage people to take nap if they can during the day. Um, yeah.
The
Okay.
body is digesting a lot mentally, and depending on what it is that you do physically. So between the mental and the physical, I think sometimes a nap is probably more required now than. And if you're not taking one, then I'm going to tell you you're missing out on something because you should. Because the person that told you that naps are for lazy people are crazy. They're the ones that are in early graves. I'll tell you that too. Mhm.
Well, I was not that person before for sure, because for the longest time I just sticked to the night ones, but I have more time now, so I
Absolutely.
encourage people to take naps. All
Absolutely.
right, let's go back to the topic. Thank you
Yeah,
for having me on your channel, and I'm glad that we are doing this today.
I am
Um,
too.
because we were out of um schedule, let's just say, for a
Yes.
while in between.
We've
So
been on our sabbatical.
we have been on a sabbatical.
Yeah. Mhm.
So this topic is chosen by you, Hilda, right? So probably
It
because
was.
of some, just tell me a little bit about where this came from and
What inspired today's topic for me was just watching how we navigate, even in navigate connection, and that's something that in I think has
uh,
drastically changed. I think that what, um, some may see it as a benefit on how we're connecting to be more of a benefit today, and others like myself, I don't see it as such an advantage. I think I see it in some ways as more of a disconnect. And what do I mean? We're connecting via Facebook, we're connecting via all the different apps. But when it comes to making real human connection, I think that that's something that has declined. And I think it's because we have instant we can get that instant response, and so if it's an instant response, sometimes we're not processing, and it's easy to just let go, so we're not building anything. And really what prompted it is I have a friend who was online trying to find love, and just the crazy stories that they would tell me, the crazy stories. And this is all for human connection. And I'm thinking, because an individual that I much prefer to meet you in person. There's things that happen when I do that. I'm reading eyes, I'm reading body language. There's a whole bunch of different things I think that mm, happens when things happen more organically, shall I say. Now, the times that we are living in, I realize that all of that's changed, but I think that the reason we need to have the discussion because it seems like everything has gone far to the left, And that doesn't work either, I don't think. We're seeing some of the disaster stories. So that's kind of what prompted today's um, talk or discussion, because it is about human connection. And why do we connect with people? Because we don't want to be alone, or we want to share our lives, and what are the measures that we may take in order to achieve that. And some measures that some folk are taking, what I would consider to be somewhat drastic. So, is there a need for the discussion? And is there a,
But
can
what?
we change
I
this?
missed the word. What did you say?
Pardon me. I said
What?
it. I
I
said I
missed.
think that this is it's when I see the behavior that's taking place in order to obtain connection. I think
Mhm.
it's a little bit drastic. It's drastic
Drastic. Okay.
measures that people
Yeah.
are taking, and you know why. I want to know why. Hello,
Hi,
whoever just
everyone.
entered in the chat. Um, Abby, Sagari. Hello, hello. So
Um. Yeah.
that's
Welcome,
why.
everyone.
Are you okay? Why would you ask if I'm okay?
Um. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I
But
hope
let's move
you're
on.
okay.
Let's move on. Yeah. I think you said quite a handful there,
I
but
did.
let's just.
I did. A lot to unpack.
uh. Yeah. I think human connection has, or the way we connect has changed quite a lot. At least, the- and I've not lived a long life like yourself, but like just in my life so far, 35 years of my life, I've seen a lot has changed.
Mm,
Um, in technology, which I think that the social media came before me. There was this Orkut, and then there was, and then Facebook came, and the the Yahoo and the Gmail and the um, the computers, laptops, all of that came before me. Um, and I feel like, um, yes, like you said, we become faster now. Um, like everything is quick, but I feel that I still seek that slow down, like that organic way of connecting.
mm.
Um, yeah, so absolutely, I am with you there. Um, have because the topic today is dating websites. Um, have you, and you shared your experience, like your friend's experience, right? How do you
And I'm
want to
sharing
like
my friend's
be?
experience because I have
Yeah, can
I'm
you
not one
share?
that
I
does
don't
that.
want to quote them like bit by bit, like everything, but like any particular aspect that you want to share.
Most of the people that they encountered were scam artist people.
Oh,
Like and look, people that were, listen, hustlers is the best way to put it. And some of them weren't even the gender that they were saying that they were. So,
interesting.
and I don't know how many stories. Now, granted, I know that there are uh, legit dating sites. I'm not talking about those. I'm just talking about all the open arenas that are open now that, I mean, God, with the selling of your information, people are contacting people through WhatsApp. People are contacting people through Facebook Messenger. So there's all these different avenues of in which people have an in to connect or to connect with other people, right? And then if you're in that mode of where you are looking for that connection, you know, this is why I think that we're having this conversation. It leads to disaster for a lot of people.
Mm. Well, DMs are something that, especially women, it's sad, but we kind of used to all the weird messages, which is still not something we should get used to, but I'm just saying, and you just ignore them. Um, right. I mean,
But for the person that is looking for love and they're lonely, because
oh,
that
okay.
brings up another topic right there. That
Um,
I personally think that a lot of people are lonely and they will leave themselves
yes.
open to those types of connections to fulfill that void.
Mm,
That wanting of human connection or talking to someone, better talking to them than talking to no one. Um, I think there's some of that might be going on with some
mm,
people.
that is interesting. I think it depends on so many things, right? Where you live, how you live, what kind of job you have, the amount of time you have. Um, in especially my experience, like I was so busy, like I had barely had any time for like human connection.
That's
I was just keeping myself afloat, which is kind of sad, but that's the truth. Um, so I think it depends. It's very personal. It depends from person to person. What is exactly that you're seeking for? What are you seeking? I think that's a good question to ask yourself. And I actually,
mhm.
um, when people approach me, like that's the first question I ask is, what are you seeking? Like why? And usually, not many people can answer that.
Or they'll give a
Yeah.
generic version of what they
So
think it
it's
is
like,
that you want to hear.
yeah, it's like, but that's normal. Yeah, but I don't have time for this. So either I have a lot of time on my hands that I get to just chill with you. Um,
You have to make
and like
time to make the connection.
you have to make time to make the exactly.
That's right.
So I think prioritizing, like Jay said, thanks for your input, Jay. Absolutely, you have to make time for it. And it depends from person to person. Like people like you and I who have actually who thrive on being by themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot more to get that out of us.
And I think it's more than just liking being by myself. I
Mm.
thrive for deeper connection. I
Yeah,
don't look for the uh mediocre or surface level connection, and so therefore those that online thing doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't work for me because the levels of in which one has to go through in order to find that level or find that connection in your level. I don't want I just don't have the time. I don't have that mental in me to go through that process. But here's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that since COVID in what took place in 2019 and 2020 has played a role in that whole experience on another different level? Do you think that is
definitely. I think
because
people are pushed to be by themselves. People are pushed to stay with themselves, which is not everyone. Like in jails, and I that's what I'm saying. Something might be wrong with us too. I just want to quote that. It is a trauma response. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Um, usually that's how people are punished to just stay, like you staying by yourself is the punishment for a human.
Right.
Because we are wired for connection. So to realize that it's a balance, and yes, you need space, but you also need connection when you need connection. But like you said, we actually seek deeper connections rather than just um and there are so many different types of connections too, right?
Yes.
That's another thing. Like not everything is
No,
deeper, you
that's
know.
right.
Like when we get a loaf of bread, we don't ask the person like where's, we just take it, you know. So yeah.
There's some comments here, and I just want to say before I read the comments that, you know, for myself, and I'm talking about myself personally, I miss my connection with my dog. I do. I miss that. I miss that connection, that
See,
companionship. I
that's
miss
another
that.
type of connection, you
Oh, it
see.
is. It definitely is. It definitely is. And I'm talking that at this stage in my life. At this stage in my life. Anyways, I just want to go back and read the, and I say
Please.
that because you know what, I was really feeling that is of late, that I'm missing that presence, and so I
That
just
is,
want to go back
we do
to,
want to talk about it. Good point, but go ahead.
yes, I miss the self interaction in the world. That is the one thing I think we no longer have because people just turn to social media instead of face to face. Absolutely. People will want to text. I know people that will want to carry on a conversation through the full text. My daughter would do that. That very frustrating. Completely. There is no. mm, we've become that busy. We become that busy that that's how we're responding to one another. It's a good scapegoat, is what I will say.
Or deflection, classic way of deflecting the issue, right? We don't want to face it.
And it can it if you, depending on the individual, if you study that behavior, it's passive aggression. I'll respond when. So depending on who it is, and once again, it's because you know what, your human connection and interaction is needing some work. Yes, totally. Okay, I miss self. Yes, absolutely. So I
I think
think
there
that
are
was it.
certain, I think that it depends from person to person. Um, Sometimes we need someone to just at a human level, just someone to hold us, for example, when we are going through something.
Mm,
And that point, like we just want someone to comfort us, you see.
yes,
um and there are times when we want to talk, so that's when we need deeper connections. But I feel like we in general are so interconnected anyways. It's so obvious, but so not obvious based on how this hyper independent culture. um but yeah, it's to realize that, to be cognizant, I think it's, and I think we and I talk about this all the time, that to really be present with your community, because that's how you know what is needed. If you're not, if you're passive and you're not present, you will never know what your community needs, and it depends from time to time what type of connection is needed.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that if you're trying to connect or maintain connection through keys and very little in the physical, then you're only getting a masked version every time with an individual. That's not because if it is not authentic, if it is not authentic, and I believe that if the relationship is solely built based on keys, there's a lack of authenticity to that relationship.
Not everyone is seeking authentic
No,
connections.
that's true too. That's true. But
I've seen that, like people just need just to fill up noise because there's so much going. And like that's why I feel like there's so many things that contribute to this particular topic. The kind
Mhm.
of the way we live these days is very different, I think, than how our human body is built for. And you and I talk about it.
Mhm.
Um, this whole like grinding and like all of that really doesn't keep us in the present moment. And like authenticity comes from being in the present moment. We are not
Yeah,
even there yet. Like we're so
yeah.
tired, mm, like just kind of making our ends meet. It requires a lot more from us to do that. And not everyone does. I just because I moved to India, if people don't know or are watching this, just after living for some time in the States, it's like how people cope here with trauma is by making fun of it
Mm,
because there's no time for it. So like it's not like it doesn't exist, but people just don't have the capacity to process it, or rather the structures are not built to be able to process it. So they basically like, oh, let's just make fun of it
that's
to
a
live.
trauma response in itself.
It
You
is a
realize
trauma
that? That's a
response. It
trauma
is a
response in
it
itself.
is. I'm not saying
Hmm.
that's the right way to deal, but I'm just saying like, and I've been there when you are living in survival mode, at least in my situation it was, you don't have capacity for
Mm-mm.
deeper connections. And
Yeah. Or the
yeah,
connections that
so
are made out of
emotional capacity, you don't have
emotional
that.
capacity or necessity, or the necessity of what's needed
Yeah.
in that moment.
And that's probably why I became so hyper independent. You see, like
Mm,
that's the only way I could survive.
yes,
So it's
yes.
much more contextual than just why are people doing this? And it's like it's almost like we are trying to survive and we just and then
Hmm.
we have this basic human need of like, for example, you're talking about dating here. So we have that instinctual need, and not everyone can turn that off. And it depends from their upbringing and their experiences. If you have been hurt, you probably be very mindful of where you're going. But if you're kind of like, I don't care and I just want to experience, you'll be like click click. So I think most of the people are like click click because like that's how they're going through life. Maybe I'm just saying it's
I was
just
going to say that I think that
reacting to the stimulus. Yeah.
there is a large sector of individuals who are experiencing loneliness, and their way of combating that is through the keys, is through and as
Yeah.
well as looking for acceptance. They're trying to find that acceptance space, and it's easier to go online than it is to face and deal in the real. In the real, I might also have to deal with rejection. In the real, I might have to deal with,
Yes.
and it's easier to say, that didn't matter, on to the next. And I think just that fear of loneliness, being rejection, has driven some to the online experience because it's very easy to say, okay, on to the next, and not process that whole, because
That's true.
life is filled with, you know what, sometimes, hey, this one might like you, that one might not. You might like this one, but we've taken that whole friggin' experience away from ourselves and have
Hmm.
made it easier to escape it
Again,
through the keys.
yeah. Again, we're just trying to make our needs met in a very weird way
Yes.
without
Yep.
any cost. right? Without any cost. And I thought it was a very Gen Z thing, by the way. I'm just saying. Um, and again, it's also a habit. I think the way we live or navigate through the world is how we show up in all aspects of our life. If our way of living is just like keep things going and grinding and all of that, like keep it going. So that's how we will be in other parts of our life as well. And I think that's where the dating culture is like today's culture is. Like I could not. I downloaded. I've been told a couple times to try dating websites. Apparently, people meet on dating websites, and maybe they do. I
Yeah.
couldn't. I couldn't take it more than a day. It was so. It felt so overwhelming and shallow, and I really felt like people are expendables almost. Like you can just like it's like buying a bag of chips. I'm serious. Like that's the feeling I got. It felt very
One time
dishonoring.
in my life, I did, and it lasted and I say 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It was like a bit longer than
it's
5 minutes. But my point being is, I could not believe some of the
yeah.
things that people would ask me, show me, which would just cut the conversation off, and anyways, and it's a well-known dating site. I won't say what site it is, but you know what? It was a well-known dating site. And little did I realize is that you know, knowledge is power. I just didn't have the knowledge, but it completely turned me off. And I thought, if this is the way that uh, finding love or connection, oh, I want nothing to do with this. This is not my element.
See, that's another way to connect with people, right? I also tried their like Bumble has this like BFF. It's like you can find friends. I That didn't work out either. Like I don't think I that's how I meet people. I don't
Yes.
I meet people. I think life just actually helps you. And that's what we I do want to mention that. Like my style of going through the world is very different. And by the way, a lot of people that I know met on dating websites and they're married and everything.
You got
And
to speak
that's
to that because that is true too. That's very true. Because as
yeah.
I said in the beginning, I'm not talking about those successfuls. I'm talking about the plethora of non-successful. In it's talking about our younger people, this is their mode. They are connecting through the whole online experience in that, okay, here today, hook up today, boom, gone. Tomorrow, oh, no, on to the next, boom, boom. And it's not just younger people. I'm not just leaving that to the younger people because I know a lot of older people that
No,
have that
no, it's not
behavioral
just
practice.
it's really
Yeah.
it's that's why I was trying to stay away from pointing out a particular category of people. But you're right, it's not just Gen Z. It's like it depends on how you navigate through the world. And if you go through the world feeling like you're just this 3D person without any emotions and mental faculties or self-worth or all of those beautiful stuff, I think it's it's not like people on dating websites don't have it, but at least for me, it really felt like it's going to require a lot more out of me to find someone even like worth meeting.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
how do you like what do you read? What is exactly a red like a green flag and red flag? And there's so
Right.
many like I just don't like those kind of stuff where people are like, what's a red flag? What's a green flag? How like
And the check boxes, the check
and the check
boxes.
boxes and there are
Yeah.
a lot of comments. Um
Why don't you go read some of the comments?
yeah, I think we read up to okay. My brother would rather, Jay says, my brother would rather text me than pick up the phone and call me. I just think there's something wrong with that picture.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's a classic. I feel like, again, we're not really tuned in. You see, like the issue is not the action. It's like we're not tuned in. We don't know what's required when.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
means if we are not tuned in, means we don't have the capacity or we are too passive. I don't know.
Here's the
Something.
deal. At the end of the day, you can go on all the sites you want. You can be interacting with more than one person at the same time. And some people have the ability to interact with 10 people online. At some point, the physical human connection is needed. And I don't
Yeah.
think on and I'm talking from the collective experience, it's that experience is missed. It's being missed. That getting together, human connection.
So it's again, I just
And I'm not talking the hook up, go boink boink, hook up, go boink boink again, because we know that that's going on. But I don't consider that the deeper levels of connection. If that's the connection you want, but I don't think that those are the building connections that establish solid relationships. My opinion.
well, if we are so much in our heads,
Hmm.
which most of us are, and the way
Hmm.
our society operates keeps us in our heads and we are disconnected from our body. I think that's something to think about. Are you connected to
Hmm.
your body, to your senses?
Mm,
Which means, are you in the present moment? Because that's what being in the present moment is.
yes.
I think being in your head and then all the porn and all of like social media keeps us in the head. We're just sitting there
Mm,
scrolling. How is our body involved here?
hmm. 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 Hmm.
You see, so it's like
There's a
mental
disconnect.
it's yeah, there's a disconnect, and then we're basically like mental masturbation is what I call it. We all do it, and it's like that's how we treat humans too, and that's where the hookup
Mm,
culture I think is coming from, because we're like just like, to get some kind of connection. It's a very shallow connection. It's still a connection, you see. But if you're in the head, um, so it depends from person to person. I really feel that the way you go through the world is how you are in every aspect of your life, really. Because I don't think it's that, like I did that too, like work life balance, okay, but you're
yes.
still the same human. You
Yes.
cannot really fragment yourself into two. Like how you are as a person, how you show up at work is how you're going to show up in your life. So it's like that whole fragmentation of like 9 to 5 and
Mm,
then life, or work until 60 and then live. Like, what does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything.
no, it
But that
doesn't.
fragmentation keeps us passive. You see, we're like, oh, so I can just switch that off. And you're switching that off for like a like more majority of your day. What do you expect out of you? You're not really active in your life.
And it's funny because then you wake up one day at 40, 50, or 60,
Hi,
realizing,
mom.
hello, Mina, you realizing that you have been, uh, a part of you've been very switched off, you know, and that you are still, and now you're alone. And now there's a whole other, you're in a whole other category, you know?
That's something that I was really scared of in my life. I was like, and you can see where you're going because it's a trajectory. It's not like, oh, it happened all of a sudden. No,
No,
60 years don't happen in all of a sudden. You can
no,
see
it
where
does
your
not.
life is going, and it's like it requires you to really reflect on your life and see if that's what you want. So you see what I mean? Like there has to be that engagement.
Absolutely.
between you and life. You can't just be like, oh, that's a template and we just follow it. And yeah, we are following it, but like we are on the mercy of this template.
Absolutely. I was just sitting there thinking when you were speaking, and I was thinking about the earlier part of my life. I found myself chasing relationships, in relationships, trying to make relationships happen.
Mm.
During that whole time period of me doing that, because there was a chunk of my life that that happened. I was not doing the work on me. And so now and what do I mean by that? I should have been looking at what I wanted, where I was going, but always sacrificing for that relationship. My whole point being is that now at almost 60, it is about me. I'm not it's not about the relationship. It's more about the relationship with myself. So I'm not anti relationship. I am,
No.
but I think it's crucial relationship with self and being happy with your that's the one main relationship for me at this stage of my life after experiencing the opposite. So, you know, I
And
think
it's
at
yeah,
the end of the day, it is a relationship with self. Hmm.
and I think that's our relationship with ourselves. And you said, can we hold that thought? I just want to read the comment and then we can go back.
Absolutely.
Relationship with the self,
Please,
because we
please.
might move on. Okay. So Jay says, I like face to face interaction because I'm one for authenticity. And I think someone's facial expressions tell a lot. Again, you are actively engaging. You know,
That's
when you
right.
look at other person, you look at their eyes, the way the face moves, like facial
You
expressions,
can tell when
body.
someone is not feeling something or whether they are feeling something just by the reaction to their body, which you don't get to see that through keys.
Exactly. Okay, this is a great point, Jay. Thanks for bringing that up. And I think we
Absolutely.
talk a
Thank
little
you,
bit about
Jay.
it, but it's like I think we all are very smart and very tuned in like naturally. It's not like some people are, some people are not, but it's going
Hmm.
to require us to actively be present.
Yes.
And it's like when people say like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." I'm like, "You weren't paying attention." We all miss things, and it's like in retrospect it's always what I find is that you weren't actually present. So like we call projections in psychology, which is essentially you see what you want to see because
Yes.
you already have an image in your head. And I do that, and we all do that. It's a trauma response, right? It's like, and then we don't actually see the person. We see we see our projection of them.
Do you know, it reminds me of, do you remember the live we did? We were talking about relationships in falling in love with the potential and what that looks like at the end of the day. It's
Wow.
just potential. And then the person ends up being, they don't even meet the
Potential,
potential. And
yes.
you've invested your whole mindset into the potential of this person or the vision when you're talking about online. Not only is it their potential that you might be having an
Right.
affair with, but it might be also the illusion that the person is really not the person that.
That's a good point. I think I want to add, because like these things we just throw around stuff like that out of context. Very important
Right.
is that potential is something that our heart recognizes because our heart is connected to the divine. But we need to see that in real life. Is it showing up in their actions? Because I think that's the gap. Like, the
Potential in
potential,
actions, because potential,
yes,
I can see that you have potential, but you know what? I'm going to tell you something. It's the actions that you are going to put
is the
forth.
actions. Yeah.
It- And when
So,
and oftentimes we will just stay there with the potential, even when whether if you're
right.
talking to somebody on the phone. Because
Yeah.
I can speak this because I talked to someone for like almost 2.5 years. And you
Mm.
know what? Fell in love with potential. There's a whole backstory to that, but you know what? Maybe that's another life. I allude to it every now and again, but you know what? There's a whole story about potential. And when it came
Right,
time to put things into action,
right.
not at all. Instead, but as I was reading the signs, the very lack of character, lack of many different things that I saw was really there. So I'll just,
Absolutely.
hmm
So it says, I think you're onto something. I like that quote, without any cost. I really feel that anything we get when we
hmm
don't um deserve it, I don't know if that's the right word, but like our human part needs to feel like they worked for something to be able to digest it or actually embrace whatever it is that we're given. Um,
Well,
so
I think that there
absolutely.
is uh, there's the hunter in an
Mhm.
individual, and the hunter, there's going to be some challenges, and they're going, and what do I mean? It's not going to be so easy. It's not going to be just laid right out there for you to take. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to
That's
navigate.
another thing. I like I said, I really don't like these lines that we throw around like, oh, whatever is meant to be, you'll get that. No, no.
No. Yeah. Well,
It's
that means
not
you're
like
just going
that.
to get whatever's thrown at you because you're accepting of whatever's coming
It's
at
not.
you.
And for the
No,
longest time,
no,
I felt like whatever someone is doing to me is because of my karma. Like, stop that
no,
nonsense.
no,
You're
no.
accepting you're accepting something that you probably shouldn't, but you don't have the courage to to handle that situation. That's what is happening.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
that's your lesson.
Yes. Yeah. The lesson is you have to learn how to stick up for yourself. The lesson is you
Right.
have to learn how to
But
uh
how do we say? We are like, oh, that's what God wanted. No,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I understand there are situations which are actually out of your control. I mean, there are situations which are out of your control, but
Absolutely.
um but even there, you as a human must have your free will, that you know for sure what you want, because I think that's a big part of universe meeting you there, you know,
I'm gonna
rather
say
than
this.
just
Absolutely.
yeah.
And in order to make that happen, because when you learn alignment, then you're aligning
Alignment.
with people. That's something that alignment will happen naturally. If you try to work at aligning with something, oftentimes we're not. That's when you are trying to make something happen. That is usually coming from a place of lack.
Yes.
It's coming from a place of, um, and I'm not saying for everyone. But I'm saying it's coming from a place of
It is.
emotionally unregulated, because oftentimes people are going into relationships and they don't have a regulation on their emotions. They haven't grounded self, and so they end up getting results that are coming from a place of fear or from a very toxic place. They're going to get the toxic results or the toxic. And it's just a mere reflection, but they don't see. They're speaking it as something else. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think the manifestation is like everyone has been talking about it. It's much different than what we think. I feel like there's a lot that goes in there. and law
Manifestation.
that
You're
doesn't.
manifesting exactly. Yes, exactly. What are you thinking? You got some fear that you might not be speaking, but you know
I,
what? You're coming from a place of fear, so end
yeah,
result.
there's a lot that goes in there. I think that,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll just leave it there. Let's move on.
Oh no, I would
um,
love to listen. I want to go back. You know what? I want to see what's behind that thought. We just cannot pass that thought. I think you have a very brilliant thought to share that's going to enlighten this conversation. Please share. No, no
yeah,
pressure.
let
No
me.
pressure.
No, there's. I am comfortable here, so I don't have an issue sharing. But I just okay. Jay says the world has made us to feel like that we are all expendable. Exactly, the world
Yes.
has,
Yes.
but that's not the truth. But it's gonna require us to do that, the whole inner work to put that into reality. You see?
Know your
Um,
uniqueness. Know
yeah,
your uniqueness. Yeah.
that's like a whole life in itself. But yes, um, I just want to add, I love my brother, but if you look up definition for narcissist and a dictionary, there's a picture of him. See, that's what it is. You can love
Yep.
someone but still don't want them.
Yep.
I have,
Yep.
like sometimes you feel like, oh, if you love someone, you need to have them in your life. No, not all the time. Again, there's a disconnection between the heart and the physical, and you need to be present enough to understand when yes you love them, but what are their actions, and to decide accordingly. So I completely understand, Jay. um
Absolutely.
it's my mom. Hello, welcome. um Jay says our hearts are connected to the divine. I will be thinking about that all day. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, food for thought. um Actually, just feel into it, just yeah. And I'm not expendable. The world would not be the same without Jay in it. Exactly.
That's right.
I think, like, I am that person. I'm always feeling like I am a magical person because like my presence is exactly what the universe needed. You see what I mean? Like, and then I feel like
Absolutely.
like life is happening for me. I go through life like that. And it's much different than feeling like, oh, I'm just another, you know, person. Like that's how we feel, like we have to be famous. Like
Your
seriously,
own,
we
yeah,
are.
no, no. I am in my own uniqueness. I am in my own uniqueness. You are in your own uniqueness.
Wait, that's you.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's that's
Yeah,
the
you were
power.
exactly.
It's the
Exactly. To
power
be
of
able
when you
to
know what you stop caring what other people think.
and really at all different levels, not because like
Absolutely.
it's like
Yeah,
intellectual, yes, we all say that, but like um emotional, mental, spiritual, all levels, you feel sovereign. That changes your life. um the world would not be the same without you two ladies in it. I feel truly blessed this morning to have found this channel. Oh, it's
oh,
our
well, we are
honor.
blessed to have you. Can I just tell you
We're
that?
blessed
Because
enough
you know
to
what?
have
I
you.
love your interaction, Jay. I got to
Yeah,
tell
thank
you.
you so much. I
Yes,
really enjoy that back and forth. Like sometimes I
I
feel
do
like I'm
too.
talking to a brick, and we talk.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't
No,
know why
no,
we do that, but like we just it really inspires us to keep sharing. So
absolutely.
thank you.
Absolutely. That's why
Um
we have these conversations too, so that, we can
yeah,
help
it's like it's
others.
not like, yeah, it's supposed to be about sharing your experiences and like learning and
Mm,
evolving together. It's not about
mhm.
like lecturing, which I think probably a
No,
lot of the people associate. um but
that's right.
you were talking about connection with the self. That's something that we wanted to come back to. um
Yes, yes. And I like, I call that a journey. It is a part of the
mhm.
healing journey that you know what you're always on, because there's so many things out there to distract one from the self, that it is a constant work to keep yourself. centered. And as we're navigating all relationships, there is that level of importance to keep yourself centered. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, even when you're doing these online, I don't care what method you're using to date. Are you centered when you're doing it? Are your emotions in balance? If not, you're not going to be as
Mm.
uh, not deceptive, but you're not going to see things clearly. You're not
You're
going
not
to
a
be
clear
using
channel.
your
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You're not. You're not. You're not.
You'll be speaking from the ego. You'll be speaking from your traumas. You'll be speaking from your
Absolutely
fears. And that's not like, to understand and really learn about yourself, what is exactly you need at different points of time. Um,
right.
really getting to know yourself, I think, is, and I can be wrong, it's my experience, but I feel like connecting with other people, I think essentially I feel like we all are mirrors to each other. I really feel
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
And but like connecting with yourself is, I think, how you can connect better with others too.
Yes.
Because if you don't have that muscle, it's almost like if you don't have that skill, like it, you're saying something, how can you connect with other people and at what level? If you don't have that muscle, you don't have it.
You don't.
You have to
But it's
develop,
one
and
of
you'd
these.
have to develop it. And
You have
that's
to
something I
develop
want to
it.
mention. It's like nobody's born with this. Like I wasn't born with this. You weren't born with
No.
this.
No. No.
We all had to learn. We all learn, and that we're not born with this. That's another aspect. We feel like, oh, we just someone is just they're lucky. Like,
Okay. So, question:
yes.
what do you think? And this is open to please, for all of you in the chat too. I want to hear
Mhm.
your response. What do you think we could do differently to build more authentic connections? I know that's a broad question, but just thinking about it, what do you do, or what could we do as a collective, do you think, to change this? Because when I think of the Gen Z, or the, the way that the generation of today is communicating and interacting, I just think, oh dear, 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 dear. It's like a throwaway society, and with little building. Now, once again, I can't say that that's for every Gen Z, but I'm just saying that, when I look at the collective, there's a lot of examples to support what I'm saying. So I'm saying, what can we do different? Because that would be the generation of tomorrow.
I think I think first of all we need safe environments, safe spaces to be able to open up and look at our wounds and look at our fears and face them, because we yeah, I don't think like you can really make a better society when you're operating through fears and your wounds, and you're not willing to look at them. There's just too much shadow going on right now. And when I say shadow, for people who don't know psychology, it just means that the things or things about yourself or aspects of
Yeah.
yourself that you don't want to look at.
Yes.
But they exist, and they come out through our dreams, or through bouts of anger, for example, or whatever it is, or through your body showing up, different diseases, right? Or mentally through depression and stuff. I really feel that we need. those type of, first of all, willingness, that's number one, that something is wrong. If you're living in denial, this is not for you. No.
No, no,
Um, so first thing is I really feel like to realize that something needs to change. And that is going to come from you. Nobody can do
no,
that for you. Because that spark has to be there. You cannot put a spark in other people, right? But
no.
of course we do get inspired, but I think it's not the same thing. Um, and then having safe spaces where people can be vulnerable and are held, and because that's what it takes, really. You cannot solve it, like you cannot change anything. You just need a space where you can just open up and be yourself and you're held, and that's it. And um that feminine structure is, I find, very lacking.
Yes,
um and and I think that's how we build community. We show up for each other. We can't do it alone. We think we can, but we really cannot, because we're in our heads otherwise. And to
yes,
bring, and it, I think community is how we ground each other, like, um too.
yes, yes. And when you're talking about grounding
Yeah.
and showing up, and that would involve connection and that would involve commitment, an actual commitment. Showing up means
Yes.
putting it in action in whatever way that that looks, more than just, I'll go right back to stroke of a key.
No, and it's gonna require us to be vulnerable, and
Yes,
and I share
yes,
all of these, like exploring our emotions. Like I shared this today, the video, it was about being okay with the emotion of embarrassment, for example. Because you know what I mean, like it cuts off so much out of us. Just,
yes.
if we're constantly embarrassed, we will never give ourselves the license to try or do anything different. We will
No,
always be like, oh my god, like, but it's just an emotion.
right, right. Yes.
It means nothing. It's just an information. It's not like a gate, it's not like a wall.
Or the fear of rejection, having to deal with, because when I think about it, when it comes to connections and
Of course.
there's that fear of rejection. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, but like, like that's why safe spaces. You can't just, I don't think you can heal in environments where you're traumatized or
Not at
which are
all.
unsafe. I don't, no.
No,
I
no.
really feel that you need safe spaces to be able to grow and evolve. And when I say
Absolutely.
safe spaces, yeah, and when I say safe spaces, it's like people who are on this path, people who are, I'll not say aligned, but like, not aligned. I mean, like we're very much about like, oh, are they enlightened and all that stuff. That is just garbage. The
Yes.
universe is constantly evolving, so there's no it, right? But like
To
they have that
to like-minded individuals who are doing the work,
like-minded individuals,
who are doing the
exactly,
work. Because if a person's doing
who
the
are doing the
work,
work.
you can see
And
that.
yeah, and I also want to mention that, like, that's where I feel like manifestation comes in. If you have that willingness, you will find that kind of people, even if
Yes,
it's like a
yes,
one person.
yes,
I really believe that when
absolutely.
when you are ready, like there's that whole phrase of like Zen phrase, like the master appears. Like when the student is ready, the master appears. That is
That's right.
absolutely freaking true.
Yes,
But are you, so like you don't have to go out seeking, and that is a culture we are kind of endorsing, is like, oh, we have to go out there, we have to seek, and everything is like go go go, and like
yes, yes,
grabbing and constant striving. But we're just this human, and I was talking to you about it. I mean, we're just this tiny human. Like, what do you expect?
yes, 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 yes. And so you put that on that. You put the relationship on your itinerary list of things to do. It becomes that
Yeah.
thing to do, that thing to
But
uh,
are you that?
achieve.
That's the
Yeah,
question. Are you that? Are you the person that you're seeking?
that's right. That's right. That's right. Oftentimes,
Oh my
that's not true.
God. It's not
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
we're like, I want it. But like that, like you said, it's coming from lack. It means you don't have it.
That's right. That's right. And you're getting a mirror
So
reflection of what's really lacking inside of you.
yeah. And
Yeah.
there are times when our soul is so evolved that it will attract those kind of people
Yes.
because it's reflecting to you your potential. And what
Yeah.
do? Either we get
Yeah.
overwhelmed, we get intimidated, we run away, we start getting defensive. And there are so many different ways we can handle that. But I really feel that the universe is built to support us because
In each
that's
interaction
what
is an
faith is, really.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And each interaction is there to give us an opportunity to experience a new lesson. It's an opportunity to experience a new lesson
it is.
or to get the lesson that you didn't get in the previous time. It all.
Yeah, like I really feel like we are like mirrors to each other. Even if
Yeah.
you have a partner, they cannot be your everything. You
No.
are a whole person by yourself, and you have to explore yourself, and you have to like really be in love with your this person and what they bring to the world. You
Yes.
cannot expect
Yeah.
your partner to do that for you. That's coming from lack, and that's coming from, you know what I mean? It's just different.
You ever see the
Par-
couple that they did everything together. Everything was together. One of them died, and it's like the other
Yeah,
person has
yeah.
lost a half part of themselves. So it's almost like having to learn how to walk, how to learn how to talk, how to learn how to navigate
Oh
everything
my
all
God.
over
I
again. I've seen this experience
Same.
one too many
It's
times.
traumatic. It's traumatic. It's
It's
like
very traumatic.
traumatic. It's very traumatic. I've seen this couple, and I'm
Mm,
sure we've seen all. Yeah, we've all seen it.
hmm.
Oh my God, she was not. She was crying. She was crying more because of what he did for her,
Yes.
which I
Yes.
understand. I mean, I think like you can willingly do something for someone but still wouldn't can do it by yourself if needed. I'm just saying.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like it shouldn't be like again, like putting people into roles like this is your job. Like this is nobody's job. There's no job for anybody. Anyone can do anything. And that's what partnership really is about. According to me, it's like you just flow and you see what each, and depending on where you are at,
Yes.
you
Yes.
flow with each other,
Yes.
you
That you
know.
are also you're flowing, but you're able to obtain a healthy level of independence.
Yeah,
I say a
it's
healthy
a
level, not a hyper
dance.
level of independence, but a healthy level that you can be separate from your partner, but you still to get
It's a
together
dance.
when you need to. It
It's a
is a
dance.
dance. It is a dance, but you got to be willing to do the dance. You know.
Exactly. But you see, the dance doesn't happen by itself. It requires two people to be there.
That's
So, like
correct.
two
That's correct.
separate people. So, it's
Yes.
going to
Yes.
require both to do the work, to
Yes.
understand who they are, what they want, and then come together. It, I haven't seen very many examples of that in my own life.
I have
It's
not
usually
either.
like one person is trying to make the other person dance. Like, what does that mean? It's not a dance. It's a puppet show then,
And I see the other
or
person's
rather like dragging the dead
resistance.
body.
Yes. Oh dear, dear, dear. Yes, yes, yes. I've seen that in some of
I'm
my
just saying,
friendship relationships. When they're worried about me being
has to be.
single, I'm worried about them finding their
I
own
know, right?
autonomy. Like
And these are the
find
type
yourself.
of people, and these are the type of people who trying to l- shove you into relationships.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Maybe you're not very happy with yours. That's another thing.
I
Like,
think
the things that we,
sometimes it highlights their fear. It's not a fear. Well, yes, it is. It highlights their fear, and that fear of being alone. Because sometimes people remain inside relationships just because of that one right there. The thought of being on their own and whether they could or not. And so when you're in front of them or I'm in front of them, it's easy to reflect that fear onto you and saying that, well, why have you been with someone? Why aren't you with somebody? Or you should, because they don't
yeah,
see where,
because why is that? Because
right,
we are mirrors for each other. So
right,
I am reflecting to them something that they haven't really thought about,
right,
or they don't have the courage to even
right,
explore that
right.
option. So what will they do? They'll be like, hmm, I am going to shove that story onto you because that's all I know. Because I wanted to use a curse word, but I'm not. But
Yeah.
you see what I mean? It's like, that's the story I know. So I'm gonna shove that onto your face.
And listen, I want to say this in this moment that
We keep repeating the things.
I'm not talking about
Yeah,
all
we keep.
relationships either. I'm not talking about all marriages, and I'm not talking about, I'm
It's
talking
not about
about
all,
some of the relationships that are
some
existing
of
out
them.
there.
Because again, it's not, it's very it's very individualistic. Like
That's right.
it's personal.
Mm,
And you cannot just, that's why I feel like when people talk about these topics, it's
hmm.
like you're not a machine. So you're not going
No.
to like, unless you are, you're going to approach things very differently. And you never really know. It's so personal until unless the other person wants to share.
Yes. Yes.
But I think there are a lot of aspects that, again, it's a multifaceted topic. But okay. Hmm. We'll
It is.
continue.
So
um jay Jay says, I think we need to come in with more of a arms wide open attitude instead of the attitude of today, which is come in with your guard up, because we're trying to protect
yeah.
ourselves. That's the problem. And vulnerabilities,
Hello,
that's
Debbie.
what's important. Oh, Savvy, hi, welcome. um and Jay says, yes, I agree totally. Let's start showing up for each other. That's it.
And then
you know
Debbie asked, "How do I approach women?" Well, that's a large question. Depending on who you're asking, I'm just going to say that, be authentic. Be
yeah, just
authentic.
be authentic.
Yeah, if you're be authentic, don't try to be a version of somebody else. Try to be as
Women can sense
authentic as you
that.
can,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
women will sense that. And if the individual is feeling you, then they're going to feel you're authentic. But I'll tell you, if you give someone a version of what you want them to see, if you give them a version of what you want them to see, remember this, that's what they're going to be attracted to. So I say this, just how do you approach them? Authentically. And then you'll get hopefully you'll find authenticity back.
I really like what you said. And thanks, Sari, for asking this question because,
Yes.
you know, so many times I've heard this like, oh, nobody's perfect. And I want to link it with this. It's not
Yes.
about perfection, it's about authenticity.
That's right.
That's what brings people together.
Absolutely.
It's not
Absolutely.
about perfect. And what is perfection, anyways? What does that even mean?
Mm, mm.
What does that even, like, whose template, who created that?
And it's so stifling. Is what I call when I see someone that's striving for that perfection, that really makes me sink right down in my thing. Say, go ahead, and make yourself crazy. Go ahead, been there, done that. It doesn't exist. Okay.
Bye, Jay. Jay's leaving. They're
Bye,
appreciating.
Jay.
It's
It was
been.
so wonderful having you, and thank you for all your wonderful comments. It's been
Thank you
eye
for
opening
being here.
today,
Have a
ladies.
wonderful day.
Yes, go do some grounding. Absolutely. I hear that.
Have fun. Yeah, have
Yeah.
fun. And Sevi says, school, no such thing. I think they're talking about
Yes.
perfection. I
Yes.
really feel that. I think that we all mess up, but it's about being authentic.
Absolutely. I
So
think
I think the older we get, it's not about looks. I think it's connection. Exactly. And how do you
absolutely.
connect to someone? How do you connect to someone if you're being fake?
That's
You just cannot.
ooh, no, no, no. But you know
Just
what?
cannot.
True connection. It
But that is it. It's
it
like
rolls
it's
like
like
butter.
yeah. It's like the dance. The dance, you don't have to tell the other person, hey, do this, hey, do that. You
That's right.
just sense it because you're connected. You
Yes.
see?
Yes.
Like right now, if we are disconnected, you'll be talking something else altogether. I'll be
That's
talking
right.
something else altogether.
That's right.
But
That's
like
right.
to be able to connect, we have to like listen and go with, it's exactly that, you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love that. Not possible. So yeah, it's like I think we are utterly confused and distracted as a
Hmm.
collective, and we should probably wrap
Hmm.
this conversation up. But like
Yes, we
I really
should.
feel that I really feel that we yeah, we're just disconnected and distracted rather.
Absolutely. You
It's
know, I gotta
l-
tell you,
it's yeah,
thank you. You know what? Thank you for what you brought out in today's conversation because, truthfully, honestly, I didn't really know how it was going to go, but you brought up
same.
some very,
You
very
never know.
beautiful, really good points. Well, you don't. That's the power behind our conversations. I love that. But I'm going to play this back, and I'm probably going to because I always do the playback, and I get so much more out of many of the things that you said or different ones in the comments have
Same.
said. Just know your minds are a blessing on the world. Well, you know what? You are too a blessing on the world. But
Jay, thanks
yeah,
for yeah
I thank
appreciating
you,
us.
Jay. I thank you,
Yeah,
Jay and Bev, all of you, and Mina, all of you that who came out and shared
everybody,
today.
thank you.
But do you have
Yeah,
something more you want to share?
no, I just want to say like just be free and just explore and be like a
Yeah,
child. I feel like curiosity
yeah,
is such a gift, and really look at world through the eyes of a child. And I think that's what Jesus really was saying, and all the other different
yes,
cultures. We have to
yes,
have that mindset of a child to be able to really see world for what it is, what not what we went through, not the traumas, and not what society
yeah,
tells us. It's just, can
yes.
we look at the world as it is? So food for thought. That's it. That's all I want to say. But thank you for having me. It's a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank everyone in the chat and anyone that is
Thanks
listening to the
everyone.
playback. And you know what? I'm so glad that we're finding our flow. And I just want to say to the folks that do follow me, I have, as
Mhm.
I said, I've been on my sabbatical, but you will be seeing more of me. I am going to start doing my videos again and taking
Yay.
you on my walks. And, I'm going to
I love
share
that.
some of my gardening because Ravneet got to see it. But you know what? Most of you haven't seen any of that because I've been very, very much silent. So I got to thank you. I am so blessed to have you in my life.
Thank you.
And I believe that you are one of those
Likewise.
people that the universe has sent to me for this time period so that you can help me navigate this space called life. So,
We all help out each other. You do that for me, I do that
absolutely,
for you. So
absolutely. So, having said that, I'm going to say bye. But before I do go, I want to say that I will be going live again on Wednesday. And the topic of discussion is parental alienation. from our adult children. Or I think I said that off the key. Well, I will be speaking with a local mom during that conversation. And
That is amazing.
so that's going to be Wednesday, and it's going to be at 11:30 a.m. So if you have an opportunity to come out again and be a part of that conversation, please do. And that's including you too, Miss Revney. But I know that you've got your own
Yes, if I'm
schedule.
up, I might have to check the timings, but I would
Absolutely.
love to. Or I'll
Welcome.
watch the replay. So
Yeah, yeah, always.
that's
But
exciting. Exciting.
it
Exciting.
is, it
Thanks.
is exciting. It's exciting. I love you. And I
Love
can't
you
wait.
too.
There's something I want to talk to you about within our next conversation because yeah, there's something I want to talk to you about. That sooner than later. I'm gonna let you go because it is nighttime where Ravneet is. And even though I know you had your nap,
Yes.
you probably want to go eat. But
Yes, I'll
I know
eat
you do.
something.
I can tell. I can tell when you get that hunger look on your face.
I'm not that hungry, but I probably eat a little bit. That hunger look
Okay,
is dangerous.
it
Okay.
is.
You will know when you see it.
Listen, we're not going to try. We're not going to
All right.
invoke. We're not going to invoke that. Okay.
All right.
But in the meantime, I'm going to say bye. Make
Bye,
a great day.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.